Richard Rodgers with a walk-off touchdown. Total disbelief at Ford Field.
He may go all the way to the 20 down the right side, and it's Randall Cobb to the 5, to the end zone, to the touchdown. Oh my goodness.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Green and Golden Boys podcast, a Packers podcast for fans who are wondering, are the Packers going to trade up for a quarterback again in 2022 here? Charles, welcome back from our hiatus. I am excited. It is the day before the 2022 draft. Are you excited?
I am so excited. I think the last episode that we did and we put out there, we were probably very monotone because we were just devastated about very somber, correct. And we were just devastated that we lost against the 49ers last year. But you know what? It's a whole new season. You know, here we are, April 27th, previewing the 2022 NFL draft. And yeah, we could be watching the Bucs play a playoff game right now. And yeah, we could be watching the Brewers play right now. But no, we want to talk to you guys about the freaking Packers. Let's go.
Let's go. Was that your passive-aggressive Minnesota way of saying you're pissed we're doing an episode right now?
Well, you know, we can watch the second half. It's cool.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's safe to say, though, it's not going to be the Bucs' last game of the season, regardless of what happens. But anyways.
Dude, all serious though, like, I do enjoy watching the Brewers and the Bucs, but, like, I'm excited. I'm excited to, you know, even, I don't want to wish summer away, but, man, doesn't the season just feel like it's right around the corner whenever the draft comes around?
Yeah, I mean, you know, aside from like the 50-degree weather here in the Twin Cities in Minnesota, yeah, definitely feels like it's right around the corner. But let's talk a little bit about some of these off-season, you know, acquisitions and departures for the Packers. I tie that back into the draft a little bit, but go ahead.
I turned off Twitter. I haven't watched the news. Update me. What has happened?
Okay.
What has happened? Any big moves on the Packers end?
Yeah. Unfortunately, the Packers we lost Davante Adams to the Vegas Raiders. We lost Marquez Valdes-Scantling to the Kansas City Chiefs.
That one actually does surprise me.
That one did really surprise me. Like, I mean, I was bummed when we heard about Davante, but I think both of us kind of were like, okay, you know, I get it. Like, that he wanted to go there. We didn't seem like we could match the offer, although it sounds like we did. Mm-hmm. You know, it's something he's been wanting to do for a long time. Reunite with, you know, his college quarterback, be closer to California. I get it, but the MVS departure was really surprising because I think everyone thought, okay, well, I guess MVS is our number one, you know, wide receiver, and then all of a sudden, you know, he's no longer a Packer. So that's disappointing. Obviously, that's led to a lot of draft speculation. Everything I've seen, read, listened to, consumed has been basically, you know, pointing to the only outcome for the first round of the Green Bay Packers draft is they have to go get a wide receiver. They have to go find somebody in the top of the first round and, you know, replace Davante Adams. I guess my question is, one, do we think that's going to happen? And two, like, how feasible is it to expect a rookie wide receiver to have any impact whatsoever, first of all? Second of all, try to replace a future Hall of Famer like Davante Adams.
Well, the second part of that question is obvious. You're not going to replace him this year, right? I mean, you're just not. I think we're filling holes in other ways with Sammy Watkins, just being an experienced guy there to kind of take some pressure off whoever new would come in. But no, I don't think anyone can replace Davante Adams. Davante Adams isn't that long, deep threat guy, right? He was the 3rd and 3 guy. He was the 2nd and long guy. He was the go get 90 yards for a touchdown guy. I mean, you just can't replace that. You know, I mean, he was the best receiver in the NFL for a reason. Yeah, he had Aaron Rodgers throwing to him, but no, I don't think we're going to replace him in 1 year. Now, eventually, after a few years, that would be amazing if we could come up with something even close to Davante Adams. I think we'll all call that a win if we get 70% of him. But your first question, is it reasonable to expect a first-year receiver to make an impact? And I mean, we've seen it in the last couple of years with, unfortunately, with the Vikings, with Justin Jefferson. And guy with Cincinnati, Chase. Two guys that Justin, I think, was a 3rd-round pick or second, maybe. Don't look that up later.
Jefferson, I'm pretty sure he was. No, I'm pretty sure he was a 1st-round pick. He was a few picks. I think they took him 14th overall.
Okay. All right. Well,
because I remember people, thinking and hoping that the Packers would trade up and get him. Yeah.
I think you're right. You're right. Well, but you know what? We have a 1st-round pick. In fact, we have 2 1st-round picks. If we really see a guy that we want to go get, heck, we can give one other pick up, right? Not necessarily 2 in the 1st. But I just think, whatever it is, I mean, we're seeing in the last couple of years, especially in these deeper draft classes, and I'm told that receiver is decently deep this year. I have no idea. I don't watch much college football. But I just think it's especially some of the speculation, and this is a question I'll ask you. Do you think we're going 2 wide receivers in the 1st round? My guess is no, but a lot of people are saying why not? And if they do, I mean, come on, we got to hit on one of them, right? I mean, right? We have to.
I mean, right? Well, we had a kind of a wide receiver, extravaganza a couple years ago when we drafted MVS along with 2 other guys that kind of, I think one washed out of the league and the other one I might be on a special team or somewhere. But, we hit on MVS, but, we lost him, obviously. I don't think, according to Pro Football Focus, this is a very deep wide receiver class. So they qualify that by saying they think there are 16 potential wide receivers that can go in the top 100, more than any other position on the field. So I don't think that the Packers are going to take 2 1st-round wide receivers. I do think they will take one. I think Goody's MO, and we've seen it, is except for going up to get Alexander and going up to get Jordan Love, is let the board come to you. So he's going to find value. Some of these wide receivers that are being touted as the top prospects, I think one of these guys is going to fall to the Packers at pick number 22. I think possibly what we see is the Packers wait until 28 to see if there's anybody else they think is going to fall, and take like a safety or a defensive lineman in with their 1st pick. That's kind of my prediction. Is I think they take a wide receiver in round 1. Do they take him at 22? I'm not sure. I'm not sure that they do.
I was quietly trying to look this up while you were chatting there, and Justin was actually drafted at, drum roll, number 22. I don't know.
I actually saw that.
If we can get what the Vikings got out of Justin, then I say we go receiver all day at 22. I think you are right. But I'm gonna be victim of the present, I guess, and everyone's screaming, "We need a receiver! We need a receiver! We need a receiver!" And I'm just gonna kind of play devil's advocate here. I would expect us to at least get 2 receivers this draft, right? Maybe even 3, because if you look at some of our receivers right now, and I don't have them all in front of me, but Sammy Watkins we just signed, by the way, awesome, love it, for a 1-year deal. Randall Cobb, I'm assuming we have 1 year left on him. We don't have any receivers past 2023, do we? Or 2022? I think regardless of this narrative that Aaron has no weapons, we need receivers. Come on, what are we doing with Aaron? I think we literally do need receivers. We need to roster the position, and I think that alone will lead us to, like you said, find value, of course, but also just kind of have that position starred, if you will, on, all right, if it's between 2 guys, we're definitely leaning to the receiver side.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look at the guys the Packers have drafted at wide receiver over the last 20 years, we've gotten some great value in the 2nd and 3rd rounds. So I think the Packers will take a wide receiver in the 1st round. I'm not convinced it's going to be their 1st overall pick. I think they probably can find value somewhere else that we have a position of need at, like safety or defensive tackle. I know we kind of tried to shore that up with the free agent signing recently, who I'm blanking on his name, Jaron Reed. So, but I agree with you on the kind of going with kind of trying to throw as many darts at the board as you can. I think the Packers do end up with 3 wide receivers in this draft, probably a tight end as well. They always seem to
Big
draft a running back or
Bob
two.
Tunyon.
Well, we only have him for one more year as of now too. So
But weren't you just so pumped to see that to see him get re-signed?
oh yeah. I mean, if we can get the production from him this coming year that we had from him in 2020, I mean that really alleviates the pressure on the wide receiver core.
Yep.
I mean, I think a big part of the league's reaction to, or this kind of stigma of the Packers wide receiver core is yeah, okay, from pure wide receivers, I think, yeah, we get it. Okay, it's Sammy Watkins, Randall Cobb, and Allen Lazard, and who else? But we also have Aaron Jones, who is a great pass catcher, and we have Big Bob Tunyon, who 2 years ago was arguably the best tight end in the league. So, I'm losing my train of thought here, but I am excited for Big Bob Tunyon, but I do think the Packers probably try to find a value at tight end in the draft as well. But predictions aside, what do you hope the Packers do? If you could kind of lay out your first couple picks, what would you want to see position wise from the Packers?
I mean, I honestly, receiver, obviously, right? Receiver, we want to see it, we want to hit on it, and I think we will all be disappointed, honestly, if it's not our first overall pick. Like even if we use that second, 28? 28. I think we'd be bummed if we let it slide, like you suggested there. I would not be upset if we go get two receivers. I really wouldn't. We re-signed by not getting Davante. We earned a receiver in the draft, right? We got one from Vegas, essentially. And even if we kept Davante, we needed to go draft a receiver this year. So the way I see it is like we're almost getting a bonus pick receiver, right? Because of the trade with Davante. The trade with Las Vegas, for Davante. So I honestly not going to be like, I would love to see two receivers and just kind of shut everyone up on Aaron getting his weapons. But as soon as we do that, there's going to be some other position this year that's going to not work out fully, and that inevitably will lose the NFC Championship game for us. And then, we're all going to be, looking at Goody's picks here in April of 2022 saying, well, how'd you screw that up? You just wasted another year of Aaron Rodgers. So I think no matter what we do, it's either going to be receiver or best position available, or best person available, right? I mean, I don't think we're looking specifically for a position beyond receiver. And if the guy doesn't drop to us, or if we don't want to go reach for a guy, then sure, we'll take best player available. But I don't think, is there another position where we're really circling? Do you think, in your eyes?
In my eyes, yeah, it's defensive tackle and it's safety. I think we're set at cornerback, right? We've got Jair Alexander, All-Pro. We've got Eric Stokes, who played like a demon his rookie season. We've got re-signed Rasul Douglas, who was an interception machine last year.
Go Rasul Douglas!
So, I think the problem right now is at the safety position, and not because of personnel, really, but like you were talking about before with wide receivers under contract, we really only have these guys I think for 2 more seasons. You know what I mean? So that's one for me. Go ahead.
The reason why I disagree, I don't disagree. The reason why I'm going to disagree with you, though, is because we can go get a safety out, in free agency easier than a wideout, right? I think a wideout, from a capital standpoint, it is greater than a safety. Just because if that is truly our weakness, right? If we go wide receiver, or even if we don't, but we hit on 2 receivers this year, and all of a sudden we got the best receiving core in the NFL, and the only thing in our way to get to the Super Bowl this year is a safety, I think we go and find a safety. I don't think you can go and find a receiver once the season starts, right? This is kind of our whether we pick these guys up tomorrow or this weekend, or we got to go get Landry in free agency, or go trade for Metcalf. 2 things I don't want to go do, right? I don't want to spend future draft picks on either of those guys, or spend big money. So